Hello there, my name's Dylan, and I'm doing a video on playing cards. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I put it off, but recently I saw something that made me think, okay, I have to make this, and I'll show you what that is soon enough. And also, you know, we're just indoors all the time now, so pretty bored, so I'm just gonna... Okay, so this video is going to be about playing cards, and specifically custom playing cards. So to start off, what are custom playing cards? Essentially they're just normal playing cards. They generally come the same size, but you can get custom designs and custom feel and custom stock, and we'll get into that. But basically now there's this big industry around it, right? So people make a design, put it on a playing card and sell it. So this is kind of the thing you would normally see, like these normal just bicycle playing cards. These are like the standard playing card design. And if I wanted to show you an example of a custom design, this came out recently, it's from Svengali. This is more of a custom design. So custom designs come from a bunch of different people, a bunch of different manufacturers, a bunch of different companies. And so because of that, we just have a bunch of loads of playing cards. I myself have an outrageous collection that I'm kind of almost too embarrassed to say what the number is. I have a lot of decks, a lot of custom playing cards, a lot of standard playing cards. So the first thing I want to talk about is the manufacturers. So the main players we're talking about here is like USPCC, Cardamundi and Expert Playing Card Company. So why are there different manufacturers and how do they differ? So the biggest player for a long time was USPCC. These guys make the most standard playing cards that you would always see, the ones that I just showed you, these ones right here. The bicycle playing cards, those are like USPCC standard playing cards, and they're like the most popular or most recognized playing cards you'll ever see. When it comes to custom playing cards, when you hear people making them, they'll say these are the best cards. When it comes to custom playing cards, you'll see that these are like the best feeling playing cards you'll ever see. When people make custom playing cards, they'll try and go to USPCC. They feel amazing. They seem to have the best stock and the best finish and the best feel. So that's USPCC. As well, you have Cardamundi. Cardamundi are kind of newish to the scene as far as custom playing cards are going. So for the most part, look, Cardamundi Island. What? Cardamundi Ireland. Waterford. There's like a picture of someone with a hurley. I don't know. It's a playing card company, man. Okay. Anyway. Their biggest thing for a long time was making playing cards for board games. So if you ever bought a board game, the cards that would come with that, like Monopoly cards and things like that, they would all be made by Cardamundi. And so, you know, there's a shit ton of board games, so they're going to make a lot of money just making the cards from those. And so recently they stepped into the game of making custom playing cards. So they made their own just poker sized playing cards, ones for use for games and used for magicians and used for cardists. And so people have been going with a Cardamundi stock, which feels a little bit different. I actually haven't used a Cardamundi deck, so I don't know what they feel like, but from what I hear it's pretty good. So I'm on their website. Playing cards have been around for 2,000 years. Oh, okay, here we go. So they make the cards for Monopoly, Uno, Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, The Gathering, Guess Who, Pokemon, Trivial Pursuit, Pictionary, Shuffle, I don't know what that is, and so on. It's even more. We're the brand you don't know you love. Very nice. Yes, so they make the board. Wait, did they make the board games? They don't make the board games. Okay, yeah, it looks like they just manufacture the playing cards for the games. So that was their big thing for a while, and then recently they've been coming up with their own like normal playing cards that to use just for like card games, for, you know, like poker and stuff. And I've been hearing pretty good things about Cardamundi, and so they have a different stock, they have a different feel, and they're kind of new. They came around, I think people started talking about them a good bit, like maybe like a year and a half ago, or maybe like a little bit longer or a little bit less. But before that, it was pretty much just USPCC were like top dogs, and that was it. And that was good. Card Money came along, and so we got a bit more competition. Now as well, we have Expert Playing Card Company. These are other guys, another manufacturer that have another different stock and feel. These are a little bit weirder. Like, okay, so for the USPCC stock, you're gonna have this thing called an air cushion finish. And what it is, it's like you have these little, I don't know how to describe, bubbles on the back of the playing cards. Like a bunch, it's like a bunch of little dots, like bumps. And what it does is to like keep air in between the cards. So it's easier to like fan them out, and it's easier to like spread them. But with Expert Playing Card Company, they go for a thing called a smooth finish. So that thing's called an air cushion finish with USPCC. And with Expert Playing Card Company, they go for a thing called a smooth finish. I just opened up a deck of Expert Playing Card, I just opened up a deck of old Nox just to play around with the old Expert Playing Card stock. And yeah, it just feels so much different. It just feels weird. So they go for a thing called a smooth finish. They don't have any of those bumps. It's literally just a smooth finish. It just feels super smooth on the back, which feels nice to like touch. But once you start kind of like spreading the cards, they kind of clump together a bit more because you don't have that air in between them, and they kind of clump up a bit more because they don't have that air in between them. Some people prefer them. I personally don't. So USPCC are my favorite. I love how the cards feel. The cards feel like the softest. They have that air cushion finish, which is really nice. They do this thing where they like crush the playing cards, it like thins them out, and it makes them really soft and really nice to handle. And it's kind of the go-to for most people making custom playing cards. Expert Playing Card Company I don't like that much. They got the smooth finish, which it feels weird, and their cards are so stiff. Like, I don't understand. I opened up these. These are old Nox. I'll start talking about these soon. But these were Expert Playing Card Company, and just trying to like, dude, it's just, it's like building a muscle while you're doing it. So the smooth finish is a bit weird and the stiffness isn't so great. Card Money, I haven't played with any Card Money cards, so I can't really say. Companies. Yeah, let's talk about companies. So there are play card companies. Those are the manufacturers before, like USPCC and them. And companies will then go to them to have their playing cards made. So they'll come to them with a design, and USPCC will make them. So how did custom playing cards start? So you have this company called Illusionist, run by a guy called Brad Christian. So Brad Christian comes to USPCC with this bonkers idea for a playing card design. Before this, there was no such thing as custom playing cards. It was just that standard design. And he comes to them with this thing of having on the box a big muscular tiger being put on the front of the box. It's like, the thing's jacked. The back design is pretty much the same, except they're just kind of inverted. So these three here that you're seeing on the screen now, these are like the OGs. These are like the first ever made. So as you can see, they're the same design, they got the same concept. There's some differences there, but the colors have been inverted and you got some weird looking things. And then, so he comes to them with this design idea, and to his surprise, they go, yeah, sure. So so they say yes to this design, which are based off of the bicycle playing cards. Why do you have these babies on pogo sticks, man? I'm going to get onto Illusionists a little bit later. I want to talk about them a little bit more, but for now we're going to talk about other companies. So there's loads now. So you got things like Art of Play, and these guys make a bunch of playing cards. They have a bunch of puzzles as well, but there's so many playing cards, it's outrageous. So they have some of their own stuff, but as well they ship other playing cards. So you'll find some Theory 11 cards, you find some entry playing cards. These are companies that we'll talk about as well. But they have some of their own stuff too. Some personal favorites of mine are Fulton's, DKNG playing cards are really good. Yeah, the wheels playing cards, you got the black wheels, you got the red wheels. I love the black wheels. And so that's Art of Play. They make a bunch of playing cards, they make puzzles as well. They got games, toys, amusements, and surprise me. So Theory 11 are another player. They make a bunch of playing cards as well as producing magic tricks, which I'll talk about in another video. Here's my thing with Theory 11 playing cards. They're so good. Like, they're really nice designs and they're super fancy, and they got really nice designs. Like, look at these monarchs. Got these purple monarchs, and they're so good. The back design is really nice. The colors are really nice. The tuck cases, their tuck cases are always good. They always make high quality tuck cases, like the box that you put the cards in. But I would just never get Tier 11 playing cards. Like, I don't know why. It's like they feel too good, or they look too good. Like they're like too fancy for me. Like, I just don't feel right now. These purple editions, I'd probably make an exception for. They look really good. But like, I can't describe. It's like they don't fit my personality or something. Even, yeah, Darren Brown made some playing cards with them recently, and they look amazing. Like, that back design is fantastic. Again, I really like them, but I wouldn't get them. So Theory 11, I don't know. I can't describe. They're really good playing cards, but they're not for me. I can't quite put my finger on it. So yeah, I really like the playing cards, but they're just not for me. I just can't. Theory 11, I'm sorry, your playing cards are really, really nice, but I'm really almost never gonna buy your playing cards. Okay, I want to talk about Svengali. Svengali are a new company, newish anyway. So Svengali are a pretty new company that are making playing cards that are just bonkers looking. The most recent addition are the off the wall playing cards, which I just got a bunch of. They're like graffiti based playing cards. They look graffiti inspired, I should say. They look unbelievable. Like, the design is amazing. Just look at it's so good. Everything's custom. The whole back design, obviously the back design is custom, the tuck case is custom, the faces are custom, the aces are custom, the core cards, the jokers, everything's custom. And the way they're just coming off it from a design point of view is just perfect. This is the third version, this is the third edition that they made. I got a bunch of those. I really like what they did with the second edition as well. The upper sleeve playing cards. These are just seriously cool. Like, this stuff just reminds you of like street art, just street design, just a modern design, you know? It's just something that I really like in playing cards now. Just having these cool designs. Again, everything's custom, the jokers, the court cards, everything. And so that's a particular shout out to Svengali there. They're growing a special place in my heart pretty quickly. So that's Svengali. I love Svengali. Ah yes, Murphy's Magic. So Murphy's Magic are like a wholesale retailer of magic. What that means is that they just sell to like magic shops. They just like sell in bulk. And so they make playing cards as well. So people will come to them to designs or just have them ship them, I think they can just fulfill the shipment for them. So some things that they've done I think are quite good, but other things I think they've done are less good. So I want to talk about the controversial stuff because that's fun. So there's these playing cards called Memento Mori playing cards. Did I spell that right? Shit. Oh, Memento. Shit. Yeah, so here we go. We got... What the... How is your website? What? Blue, standard? Yeah. Okay, so these playing cards called Memento Mori playing cards that Chris Ramsey helped with some other designer to make, like, while he was working at Murphy's Magic, and he came up with this design. The back design is beautiful. The faces I'm less of a fan of. The core cards were just, I don't know, it just looked like someone vomited like pixels onto a playing card. So these playing cards came out a while back. And Chris Ramsey left the company, and then after he left the company they made another version, like a blue version. Oh, they're cheaper than the original version. And so they made a blue version that looks like this, and so everyone was really pissed off because they just made like another colorway, despite the fact that the first one wasn't really a colorway, it was all multiple colors, and the second one is just blue. And so Chris Ramsey himself just got all kind of went into a hissy fit and was like, you made my playing cards and you bastardized the design. And I don't really have a problem with it. I think they actually look pretty good. There's different shades of blue at least. they did something with it, but it's like it's their design, it's their copyright, and I think they look pretty good still. You know, I don't think they look any worse. They probably, the originals probably do look better, but you know, these look pretty good. Cherry Casino playing cards, they recently took over. I don't know what the relationship is there. Originally, Cherry Casino playing cards were under Pure Imagination playing cards, Pure Imaginations projects. And the biggest thing with Cherry Casinos is that they handled amazing. Like, these were the best feeling playing cards like ever made almost. Getting too bright now. Ah, you son of a... There we go. So these like felt better than any playing cards like ever made. So you got the original design, the original color, which look amazing. They're like this kind of green, just a nice looking design. And then they came out with a black version, which again looks amazing. And then they came out with a red version. There's Reno red that looks amazing. This was the first to come out. Oh, never mind, Tahoe blue came first. But when they came out with the red version, I thought, oh my god, these cards just look so good. The red is just perfect. They look incredible. Like, those are just gorgeous. But they gave them this like metallic finish, and it just kind of ruined the feel of them. Like they like the biggest thing for Cherry Casinos is that they felt like the best playing cards in the world. Like, nothing felt better than Cherry Casino playing cards. And then when you gave them this metallic finish, they just don't feel like cherries anymore. Like, they still feel good. They're still good playing cards, but they're not the same, man. So Murphy's Magic again. I think you might have. I'm not really sure what your involvement was there, but I think you may have ruined Cherry Casino playing cards. This is part of a little gripe that I have with the playing card industry, which we'll get into in a little second. But yeah, having said that, cherries are still good. They still feel good. They still look good. And yeah, Murphy's Magic just makes a bunch of playing cards. They're wholesale, so they ship loads and loads of playing cards. I don't think they ever really make any limited edition. And yeah, I think you'd have to go to like different shops in order to get these playing cards. You can't buy just straight from Murphy's Magic, if that makes sense. Difficult. I'm looking at the product page for the Cherry Casinos here. It just says difficulty, no skill required. You could just, you could update the page so that you don't have a difficulty setting on your playing cards. It doesn't. Pearlescent red of the Reno red Cherry Casino playing cards is symbolic of your lust for greatness. Oh yeah, baby, give me that greatness. Okay, I like that. Okay, in review, cherries, I love cherries. Okay, so I'm going to touch on a company called Entry pretty quick. I enjoyed Entry. They did a similar thing to Svengali before Svengali did it, where it came from like a design perspective. As far as I know, Entry does no longer exist. It doesn't exist anymore. It was started up by, I think, two guys were like the main co-owners of it, in Franco Pasquale and Benji Taylor. And then kind of out of nowhere, Franco Pasquale just left. He just didn't want to be part of Entry anymore, and then after that, Entry just didn't exist anymore. They didn't announce that they were gonna not exist anymore. They just kind of stopped. I went to look at their like website, entry.live, searching, and this page cannot be reached. So yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Their playing cards are so good though. Look at the Suns. I haven't got Suns, but the Suns are really, really nice. Really nice playing cards. I got a bunch of Peppers. Those are great looking playing cards. The old ones were very nice. Like the design, again, they just came from a design point which is just hasn't really been done before, and it just looked amazing. Their cards are terrific. Yeah, they really had something going. I'm not really sure what happened. I kind of wish, like, even, yeah, everything. I'm just looking at their Instagram here, and every bit of product photography was just perfect as well. O2s I'm not too hot about, but God, just perfect. Entry, I don't know what happened. RIP. Okay, I'm going to talk about House of Playing Cards as well. House of Playing Cards is run by a guy called Alex Pandrea, and they make a bunch of playing cards, most notably Nox. Nox I'll talk about as well, but they're another company. Yeah, I really love these Bicycle Inspire cards, bunch of Nox. They had other like Blue Crown playing cards were nice as well. But just look how many Nox. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a Crown deck. Yes, Crown decks are quite nice. I don't think he's in stock. they are in stock and they're going very cheap. So yes, House of Playing Cards most notably make Nox. I will talk about Nox. Shut up. Independent producers. Okay, this is turning out to be a very, very, very long video. I don't know how long this is going to be. So as I mentioned earlier, there's a guy called Chris Ramsey who made the Memento Mori playing cards with Murphy's Magic. Recently, about a couple years ago, he made his own playing cards independently himself. He was able to make them like under his own name. He didn't need to go to any other company. He was able to like crowdfund, called First Playing Cards, which was like, you know, it's because it was like his first that he made by himself as well. It was like a YouTube thing when he went to like a YouTube. You know, they're called First. So there's 3 versions of those: the V1, the V2, the V3, and they're all stunning. My personal favorites are the V2s. They just look like amazing. I bought 2 bricks of those. The design is just incredible. The colors, yeah, he really knocked it out the park with these playing cards. So he's an independent guy. Orbit Brown's another guy who's able to make his playing cards. If you know Orbit playing cards, they have 7 different versions now. Yeah, a hell load of it. V8 catalog. So yeah, 7 different versions. They seem to be coming out with an 8 pretty soon. With an 8th pretty soon. Yeah, he's just knocked it out of the park again as well. From a design point of view, the cards look great. I really like Forest playing cards actually. I must get some Forest playing cards. I think at that time when the rainforest was burning, all profits were going towards that. It's always had that thing where you buy a deck and then they'll plant a tree for every deck you buy. But yeah, I like Forest playing cards from a design point of view as well. Orbit just as good. Cardistry decks. I don't know what cardistry is. Cardistry is just a way of shuffling cards in like an artistic way, I guess. Is like the best, an artistic and visually pleasing way is the best way I can describe that. And so you have playing cards that are designed to make cardistry look better, right? So it's sort of like the OGs in cardistry community is Fontaines. Fontaines are like the supreme of cardistry decks. It's like this particular logo that they have. They look great. They've made some great designs. I like the 2Fs. And the design is just like, the logo just means something. You know, I got Fontaines recently, and it's just like a representation of an entire community, entire culture, because these are like the first guys who like pushed cardistry as an art form, really. And so they were able to make their playing cards, and now, you know, it's like if you're a cardist, you get Fontaines. And so they're like the OGs as far as cardistry decks go. Before they were just making different colorways, which is one of my gripes. Recently they've been making some nice designs with like Rip and Dip, which have just been fantastic designs. Haven't been able to get my hands on them because they sell out in like 30 seconds every single time. I like this design here as well, the Good Co Fontaines, like that nice little wave that they have going on there. It's just a nice, yes. So those are Fontaines. There's another company, another group of guys called Anyone Worldwide, and I really like what they're doing. They just make some nice kind of simplistic playing cards. My particular favorites are I think they're just called dot playing cards. Again, I haven't been able to get them because they just. So look, here are the dot playing cards, and it's literally just a dot on them. But when you're doing cardistry with them, it becomes like this focus point, and it just looks fantastic. They have other versions, but yeah, they're another cardistry company. There are a good few cardistry decks. There's things like Cardistry Touch. You have what else have we got for cardistry? Things that I've seen like Flux playing cards, which are really cool. School of Cardistry deck, the like Jaspis deck, those are nice. And some of these decks don't even have like faces like these do. You know, they're not like playing cards. They sort of have a back design, and then they have like a front design, if that makes sense. So it's purely for like movement, and you're not going to do magic with these playing cards. So those are like cardistry decks. Those are decks for cardistry. So things I really like about custom playing cards is like you get really nice decks that handle really well. The competition is quite good for different companies, like the different manufacturers, different companies who make things. There's a bunch of different designs that I really love, and yeah, there's some great decks out there. The fact that we've like crushed and like that squeezing thing where they literally crushed the deck to make them soft, you've crushed and you've double crushed and you've like this premium stock, and you like it's amazing what USPCC and what Cardamundi were doing. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to say, Cardamundi, I was talking about the competition and I was saying how good it was to have the competition for Cardamundi to be competition with USPCC. Everyone was like, oh, good competition from Cardamundi, this will make it better. Cardamundi last year just bought USPCC. Straight up bought them. So it's sort of like, as far as I know, USPCC are still going to exist, it's just Cardamundi own them now. So it's sort of like how Fiat bought Ferrari, but Ferrari's still a company, but it's Fiat, you know. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I think USPCC is going to keep going the same way. Hopefully Cardamundi can bring even more improvements to it. It's going to make it really hard for any other company to like compete with them now. But yeah, that was just savage. Just straight up bought the competition, and only recently I think they properly like merged as like, you know, as like one company. So yeah, I almost forgot to mention that. But yeah, USPCC still seem to hold that like benchmark for like the best feeling playing cards. Like the stock and the finish and the feel, like everything, everybody wants to go for USPCC. Some people for Cardamundi, and then I think less people go for Expert Playing Card Company. But I think Expert Playing Card Company changed up like their recipe a little bit lately. They came out with Kickstarter project. They came out with a Kickstarter project where they released these Jerry's Nuggets playing cards. Before, Jerry's Nuggets were like these really old playing cards, and like hardly any of them existed, and you'd be paying like hundreds and hundreds to try and get one. And so they made new versions, and when they launched that project on Kickstarter and people got them, they said they felt really good. So I think they've changed up their recipe a bit there differently. I do want to get some Jerry's Nuggets. They look good. What I like about the new ones that they made is that there was a misalignment in the printing, I think, in the old Jerry's Nuggets, where, you know, the stamp that goes over the tuck case should be right over the point where you open it. But there was a thing that happened with them where they got misaligned and went to the left. And when they made the new ones, they did the same thing again and put the stamp to the left, off to the left. I really like that. So yeah, so I think everybody seems to be getting better. Even, you know, there's I watched a video of Ekaterina. She's like a magician and playing card maker and cardist, and she made a video about how to make your own playing cards and how to get it done. And she was saying that even like the prototypes now you get now like feel pretty good. She had Kier Gomez on that video, and he said, you know, he got it from NPC, which is a company that make, I think, just they're just there to make prototype decks. You know, he said like these prototypes feel really good. Before, prototypes felt terrible, and it was just to like see what they look like physically. Now even the prototypes look good. So if you wanted to like make your own playing cards and not have them for anyone else, you could probably just make prototypes and have them yourself. What other illusionist decks do I have? Keepers are quite good. Yeah, they're not without their mistakes though. You know, they've made some questionable decisions. So something recently were these things that people were calling fake tains. So talking about fontaines and how they were a cardistry deck, and you know they have the two Fs. And so a little while back, Illusionists made this deck called Kingslayers, and the resemblance is fairly striking. So before they were just doing the same thing, you're just making a different colorway, and that was okay. And so people were just like, you know, being like, these are just fake fontaines. They just look like fontaines. You're just making different colors. And recently they did a good thing where they made a zebra design thing, a zebra design on them. What is this loading thing that you're giving me? I feel like this is taking up most of my bandwidth. Like, couldn't you just give me the little circle? That the little, you know, there's a party going on over here. But here's a deck. Here's like, here's the deck that made me like, okay, I have to talk about this deck. And so was like the inspiration for this video. Or it was more like the nail in the coffin. It's like, I have to make this video because I have to talk about these playing cards. So recently enough, Illusionist came out with a deck of cards. The name of the cards, what they've named the deck of cards, is Deck of Cards. So that's the name. That's what they named them. Here's the tuck case. Oh, they only made 2,500 of these, okay. I'm guessing they're not sold out. So there's the tuck case, minimalist. The Six of Hearts, you don't need to see it. All you need to do is mention its name and it's called into existence by your imagination, fully formed in your mind. So when I say Six of Hearts, you know what I'm talking about. You know what that looks like. You understand what a Six of Hearts looks like. Okay, but let's just... There's the back design. Minimalist. In the same way, playing cards exist beyond a physical form, iconic shapes lodged within our collective memory. Okay. Now I don't actually mind the back design that much. I like this kind of simple design, and when it means something it's kind of cool. This back design is your favorite back design because it's every design and no design all at the same time. Here are the faces. So these are the playing cards. There's the Ace of Spades. That's an iconic Ace of Spades. Look, I understand the pitch here. It's like everything's your imagination, and there's diamonds. Oh, okay. At least they're red there, and yeah. Okay, this is the 10 of diamonds. Close your eyes for a moment. Can you see it? It's got some good reviews. The color changes and fan work you could do with these is just too mind-boggling. There's desperation in distraction. This deck has none. It sure doesn't. I see what you like. Okay, so the pitch is not hard to understand. I see what you're going for. It's a weak pitch. I'm sorry. It's just you've like this is just I don't know what to say about these. Like, there's so little to talk about. Like, what were you thinking? Like, they're nothing. Like, they're literally nothing. $8.50 for Jesus. Like, the pitch is weak because could you imagine if I was doing a magic trick and I just didn't do anything? I was like, just imagine that I did something, but I didn't do anything. Okay, it was a decent metaphorical idea, but practically, also the tuck case, when you open it up, let's see if we can scroll up. Can you see this like tab going across here? That rips off when you open it, and you cannot close it back up. They did this thing where it's like once you open it, it's destroyed. Again, I don't know what metaphorical point there is to that, but again, practically, that's no. That I can't. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the back. What I would have gone for here is to have this deck of cards and then just had the standard playing cards and just gone for no color anywhere, or just have everything black. Yeah, no. Okay, so there's probably Illusionist's weakest pitch of all time. Okay, so I've been mentioning Nox, and I mentioned House of Playing Cards. And so that's one of my gripes there with Illusionist anyway, or it's with playing cards. You get these really just dumb designs, and they try and pass them off as like, I don't know, imagination, and it just doesn't work. Here's like the biggest gripe for me with playing cards. Is like people will make a deck and then they'll just make it over and over and over again, but in a different color, and no one does that better than Alex Pandrea and Nox. Here's some green and gold Nox. Here's some winter Nox. There's like a light pink Nox. There's a, and by the way, as you can tell from Nox, there's like no design. It's just one color. So it's like no design whatsoever for Nox. It's just a colorway. So here's like a green with a gold border. Here's like a light pink and a light blue and like a dark green. Alright. Here's some brown ones. Here's some red ones. Okay, so they made also cardistry trainers, which are nice. But here's other ones. These are like grey with a white design, a bit of black and white. Here's another slightly different version. Here are them in red, and here are them in black and in white, and another red, and then in green and pink and blue and orange and black and a lighter blue. Here's a decent design. These here are okay. These Nox 3000. There's another one like the Shin Lim playing cards. Man, come on, they're just red. They're red with a black border. You got them in purple. You got the normal green ones. I'm like, how many versions of this can you make? It's just one color. Like every time he comes out with a new version, I'm like really? Like so many. But other companies do it as well. Illusionist as well has done that with Rounders. So Rounders were playing cards made by Daniel Madison, and they came out originally with black Rounders. And since Black Rounders, they made them in white, and they've made them in pink, and they've made them in brown, and they've made them in blue, and they've made them in green, and they've made them in gold. And like, it just kind of annoys me, you know, because it's just, you know, it just feels kind of lazy. They've been doing the same with Knights recently. The Knights are nice playing cards, but here they have them in gold, and then they made them in red, and then they made them in blue, and they have them in green as well. Cohorts, they made them in blue, and then they made them in red. Well, having them in just blue and red is pretty standard. But yeah, it's just a little gripe that I have. Like, people just don't stop doing that. Having said that, both Illusionist and House Playing Cards have made some very original designs that are all very good. But it's just a little something that annoys me. But at the same time, this is where I'm going to contradict myself, is like, I like all these different color designs. I want to have Rounders in black and blue and green and red. They all look good, you know, because Rounders look good. So I got them in brown, I got them in black, and I got them in pink. I got Nox, I got black Nox, I got green Nox, I got purple Nox. You know, I want to get white Nox. So as much as it kind of annoys me, I do contradict myself there. Murphy's have done the same with the Cherry Casinos. Cherry Casinos were originally just one color for the longest time, and they were pretty rare. And then they made a black version, which was cool, and then not long after that they made the blue version, and then they made a red version, and then they made a green version, and then they made a purple version. And I'm assuming they're just going to keep going. So I think that's everything about playing cards. That was a lot. So yeah, I think that's about it. All in all, I love the playing card industry. I love the fact that there's a bunch of different designs and a bunch of different decks that feel different, and that you can get ones that you really like and ones that kind of suit you, and even designs that suit your personality. Like I said, I'd never go for Monarchs, even though they're really, really nice. Or I'd never go for Theory 11 playing cards normally, even though they are very nice. Yeah, there are things that annoy me, like that colorway thing, but like, it's like the way it goes. It's the way she goes. But yeah, I'm even looking at the colorway thing. I have Gold Knights, but I look at them in blue and I like them in blue. I look at them in red and I like them in red. I want to get them. Ooh, they're on sale. Yeah, I won't. So things I look for in a deck are like Normally I like go for pretty much standard faces. I like things that I can perform with. I feel like when they get a bit too wild and they're not so recognizable, it can create a kind of a disconnect for people you're performing for. And that's actually one of the reasons I really love Nox, as much as they also hold the biggest gripe for me, is the fact that like there's no back design. I feel like it gets rid of any kind of disconnect to, like, when you look at them, they're just playing cards and they're simply playing cards, and people look at them as that. And I think when you do Magic with cards that are just cards, like no design, I feel like just feels a bit more powerful. This is just, I don't know, that's just my thinking on it. I don't know, does that make sense? Like, you have, like, all you think is that it's paper. Like, you're not thinking about them even being playing cards, you just realize that it's just pieces of paper in your hand. So in that sense, I think it's a pretty cool idea that you can perform with them. I like using them for gigs for that reason. So yeah, but I like fresh designs. Obviously you want them to feel good. My bae right now is Svengali. I think what they're doing is just amazing. I love their design. I love their designs. I don't normally go for cardistry decks. I'm pretty subpar cardistry. But yeah. That's playing cards. I'm not gonna do that thing that's really annoying. I'll refrain. Alright, better go wash my hands or something.